Namaskar and welcome to NFL Masala. I'm your co-host Anant.
And I am your other co-host, Rakshak. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 8 of NFL Masala, where we talk about all the latest happenings in the NFL with a little bit of spice. How's everyone doing today?
We are doing very well.
Oh, and speaking of which, Anand, who do we have for today's
we
episode?
have a couple of fantastic guests for us today because we are going to be breaking down the AFC East division. So we have a couple of great former guests. Cam, the Buffalo Bills fan, he's also here for us today, speaking on behalf of the Buffalo Bills. And we also have Varun, who's going to be speaking on behalf of the Patriots. So it's going to be a full podcast today, one team per person. Let's get started, shall we?
Yeah, and before that, what do we also have it ready to go?
Some spicy dhamakedar news, a lot of which are unfortunate, and one is extremely kachda news, so we'll get that started and out of the way. Unfortunately, in the real world, we had a massive incident at the NFL headquarters in New York City. There was an active shooter who broke into that building and killed 3 people before turning the weapon on himself. And he died on the 44th floor, or 33rd floor. So, yes, unfortunately, this incident happened just late today, actually. Today is the 28th of July. Just happened about an hour and a half ago. So we would like to offer a moment of silence for the 3 people who unfortunately passed away during this tragic event. All right. So, yeah, unfortunately, they haven't released the name of the person who did this.
I just got the news from that.
Oh, really?
This is according to an MSNBC news. Just now, I'm reading this via Threads, so please bear with me, folks. The New York City shooting suspect has been identified as Shane Tamura of Las Vegas, a former football player.
Oh, no. Man, CTE really is pain.
All I know is that everyone, it's a very, very unfortunate situation. And speaking of this, I think it sucks. That's all I will say. I'm not going to comment on anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what's happening with the world and all that, nothing else.
We can move on. Just our thoughts and prayers are with the families of the people who pass away, unfortunately.
Yep. And with this, the next bit of news has been the controversy heard around the world that has to include with one ex Las Vegas Raiders player, defensive tackle in the name of Christian Wilkins. According to ESPN, Wilkins, who was released by the Raiders on Thursday, kissed a fellow player on the head, and the teammate took offense to it. The source told Adam Schefter. And apparently, the incident was not the sole reason Wilkins was cut, sources said, and he was recovering from his Jones fracture, which he suffered last October. And the team did not like the way that he was going through his rehab. And they voided the $35.2 million of his guaranteed money left in his contract June 4th. And he was released with the designation of terminated vested veteran. And Wilkins asked the NFL Players Association to file a grievance on his behalf. And then the sources were saying that the interaction was playful, but the teammate didn't see it that way. And a complaint was filed into the Raiders HR department. And then I don't know what the thing is going on, but there's a lot of speculation, a lot of conspiracy theories. Who wants to go through the rabbit hole? It's just a mess. And
this isn't like the first time that he's done this either, right? When you look at the celebration videos of him celebrating his college championship at Clemson. There
Mhm.
were similar incidents during that celebration event
Yeah, I would think
where
so too.
he like crossed the boundary of privacy between teammates
Mhm.
in public view. So I would not be shocked at all if this
Right.
was the major reason.
Mhm. Yep. But I also wanted to bring this out. And actually, I wanted to give a shout out to a. I know I mentioned this last episode, but a little bit of a mini breaking the bucket news, which we've already covered before. I told Anand about this, but on Threads, we are followed by a sports analyst by the name of Griffin Prock.
Mhm.
So want to give a special shout out to him for following us and following us on his content. He covers NFL, CFB, NBA, college basketball, Major League Baseball. Couple of things that he narrowed down to yesterday and today. The first one being we had a ton of we had a ton of extensions. The number one being is Rashawn Slater signing a 4-year, $114 million deal
Mhm.
as for the with the Los Angeles Chargers, making him the highest paid offensive lineman, and Dallas
Well deserved.
and Dallas Cowboys tight end Jake Ferguson signing a franchise position record setting 4-year $52 million extension. And then of course we have Super Bowl champion quarterback Kenny Pickett suffering a hamstring injury with the Browns. And yeah,
Ah.
that's all I guess. That's from my end. And again, shout out to Griffin Proc for following us on Threads. So appreciate it and learning from you guys.
Mhm. One more extension to have happened, this time with the Denver Broncos and their wide receiver, Courtland Sutton, their number one wide receiver. They signed him to a 4-year, $92 million extension that will run him through the 2029 season. Congratulations to him. Well-deserved $41 million in guarantees, so roughly like 50% or 40% almost. So that would be a $14 million salary this year that he would earn, 13.5 base salary and a $500,000 workout bonus. And it's now fully guaranteed to go with the $27 million in guarantees over the next 4 years of the extension. This was after the fact that he was in the final year of a 4-year, $60.8 million deal he signed in 2021. So he is their number one receiver. And he has been incredibly important to the development of Bo Nix and what Sean Payton wants to do on that offense. He is their he is their number one target. So I'm glad that they got him situated. They treated him like the number one receiver that he is, unlike some teams. Cowboys. So yeah. Good job. Good job, Denver. Well deserved.
Oh yeah. And speaking of wide receivers, before I go on to the Cowboys, I don't know if y'all heard about this, but the Tennessee Titans.
Oh my god.
Can we talk about the Titans?
Yeah, please do.
I've been
Please
wanting to
do.
get to this.
Go ahead.
We
go ahead.
literally just finished our AFC South episode and they do this.
The
Oh.
Tennessee Titans waived former first-round wide receiver Traylon Burks with an injury designation after he broke his collarbone during a July 26th practice. The team announced on Monday. And apparently this collarbone injury is going to sideline him for at least the start of the season, potentially beyond that. As a football player in general, I hope Traylon Burks recovers. I wish nothing but the best for him, and I hope he goes to a competent team. But this brings me to a special case called the biggest touchdown brown paper bag moment, and that award goes to the Tennessee Titans. What? I want to understand this. And
You can't.
And guys, I want you to help me. I want to go through. I'm not going to take too long on this because I need convincing. I need a reality check. I need like a mind web. So if I want to talk about what is logic, does the logic of having an incompetent general manager who decides to trade away one of the best wide receivers in the league to a team, and then you say you get a replacement who doesn't see the field too much and a couple of backups? Like, this makes the AJ Brown trade look so bad. I feel for Traylon Burks. But honestly, guys, Varun, Cam, and Anand, I need you to explain to me, and pardon my French to all listeners, how the fuck did the Titans think trading AJ Brown was the right thing to do instead of paying the man?
It
This makes sense.
They saw the Vikings trade Stephon Diggs in their prime, draft Justin Jefferson, reset the rookie deal, and they thought they would do the same. They just, they didn't do it.
They're dumbasses.
But like, here's the thing, though: the AJ Brown trade actually made Philly look better.
Yeah, and we got a ring out of it. Right, but what happened to the Titans? They are literally in wide receiver hell, and you know what? Let me pull up the Titans wide receiver depth chart. I'm going to play a quick game, 2-minute game with you. Is it M or meh? Everyone is included, and all criticism will be exploited. Are you ready?
We're ready. Oh my God, what is this shit?
See what I mean?
Your response.
Cameron is already mentally broken after watching this crap. I mean, let's go through this. Calvin Ridley, yay or nay?
Yay, Ridley's good.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
He's
too old.
Van Jefferson.
Well.
Let me try. Chimere DK.
He's a rookie, so.
And then James Proche II. Jaquan Jack. And their only backup tight end, which I only see properly, is Gunnar Helm. Like, dude, this is the most sorry-ass roster for Cam Ward. Like, Titans, what the hell are you doing? No, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I mean, you might as well. And you know what? Beat the dome moment. I think the Titans are going back to the Tank Bowl.
Oh, hands down.
They're going back to Tank Bowl.
Hands down.
Okay.
We said this last episode, even without Traylon Burks leaving, right? Because they were just that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And okay, so with this, last but not least, let's go to the main news. This has occurred today. I'm according to Todd Archer of ESPN. The Dallas Cowboys dodged a huge major injury concern when an MRI revealed left tackle Tyler Guyton did not suffer a torn ACL on his right knee during Monday's practice. It was basically a bone fracture. He's looking at the 4 to 6 week recovery, but will not require surgery, according to a source. The ACL is intact, so I want to say thank God for that because I hate seeing players get injured and knocked out of the season for that. But he was hurt on a pass play during team drills and remained on the ground. He was able to walk off the field under power and after being briefly aided by Micah Parsons. Definitely, it's it's going to be a loss for that Dallas offensive line, but he was definitely productive. He played for 15 games, productive offseason, and he was projected to do pretty good. But also, but with that, the Cowboys have backups in Asim Richards, Hakeem Adeniji, and rookie Ajani Cornelius, and they technically do have Terrence Steele as a backup, and also they could consider moving Tyler Smith like left guard, but he's also been named with that. And then they also had another injury. Rob Jones broke a bone on his neck. He doesn't need surgery, but he'll miss 2 to 3 months. So it's like already at the moment. It's insane and whatnot. And I did not know this, but apparently the Panthers are trying out Hunter Renfrow.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. So that's all the news that I have at the moment. So
Now, one last bit of news, and this we want everybody else to weigh in on. So the candidates for the
Varun will be right-
2026, huh?
again, Varun will be right back. He just
here we go.
Okay. So he can chime in once he comes back.
sure.
The candidates for the 2026 NFL Hall of Fame has been released, and this will make you feel old as hell.
Dude, that's like directed to me, bro. That's like literally directed to me. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to know like how old I am, I started watching football around 98, 99. That's how old I am.
That's when I was born. But here are the candidates:
Yes.
Drew Brees,
Yes.
Larry
First
Fitzgerald,
Oh, 100%.
Jason Witten,
No. not yet.
Frank Gore, Julian
Frank Gore?
Edelman. Let me share my screen. So
Yeah,
everybody
share
can
it with
see.
it.
It's probably better that way.
While you do that, let me come back.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Bruins back.
Varun. All right, Varun. So right
Yeah.
now, this is the list of the candidates for the 2026 NFL Hall of Fame. So obviously, I think there are three who are probably going to get in first ballot.
Breeze,
right?
Fitz.
Breeze, Fitz, and Witten.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I see that too. Honestly.
Greg
Actually-
Greg Olson and I think I'll say this. My predictions. If I don't know if like second ballot or third ballot, I think it will go to Greg Olson, Julian Edelman, and LaShawn McCoy for sure. But
Yeah,
I'm not. But for Rivers, I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer too because he was probably because I mean, yes, you could doubt me on that one, but he was a damn good passer when he was with the Chargers, and he led those offenses, even though they were incompetent. At times.
But not in this category, though.
Oh, not in this
That's
one.
what I'm
Okay.
saying.
So
I
second.
can, I can see Breeze, McCoy, and Julian Edelman.
McCoy.
Shady.
Oh, I don't know. I think Frank Gore
guys-
would probably take the title ahead of Shady McCoy.
The ageless one.
Exactly, because
The what?
he was so
Ageless.
consistent for so long. Frank Gore.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely say so. Yeah, Frank Gore. Frank Gore was very productive during the
Yeah.
series, and I think like with Shady, it's like he started breaking out in that 2010-2011 season. I did not know if he made that much of an impact. I know Eagles fans are going to gum bash at me because like I didn't see Shady a lot because most of the time Shady McCoy was playing back for the beginning of his career. Sean McCoy was back up to a Mr. Brian Westbrook at one point. So I don't know about that. So that's what you have to take into consideration. I would say for Shady McCoy, second round ballot. Maybe first round would be like a Frank Gore, I would say.
He played with Josh for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
So he went to
Mhm.
Kansas City.
But also I could say he played with Michael Vick for some time. So yeah.
Edelman's an interesting one because like he doesn't have like the regular season stats of like a Hall of Famer, but
Of
like in the
postseason.
playoffs, he was as effective as you could get for a receiver.
Oh
So I'll ask this to you, Varun, specifically. Between Julian Edelman and Steven Gostkowski, who would you pick?
Oh, I mean, if you want to go like objectively, I do think Steve Gostkowski got the better like Hall of Fame like chance, but you know Edelman's my guy.
Wasn't he a kicker?
Yeah.
He was very clutch. He was very clutch.
I don't know.
Yes.
I remember a one Patriots kicker. This is gonna make me feel really old. Who was super clutch before Gostkowski, Mr. Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's in like the
He was
early,
Mr. Clutch.
but he's in the NFL Hall of Fame though,
He is,
right?
yeah, he should be.
He should be. He should be. I've seen.
If he's not, he should be.
Yeah, there's no way he isn't. Like he has to be.
Yeah. Was not inducted No, he's not.
He's not.
He's not.
Adam Vinatieri is not inducted into the Hall of Fame.
No, he's not.
So
Okay.
he was in the eligibility list for his first year last year. Or actually no, this year, sorry, yeah. 2025.
And he didn't get it.
He didn't get in. So
That is wrong.
so
He should be in the Hall of
probably
Fame.
if that's the case, then Steven Goskowski
Yeah,
does
if
not have
Vinatieri doesn't get it, he's not. Yeah.
He does not. Yeah, it has to be Edelman.
Yeah, it has to be.
Hey, why the hell is Des Bryant there?
Technically, he's eligible.
It wasn't
Because they say he caught the ball.
He didn't catch it.
That's
That's the
not-
thing.
not catch it.
For Des Bryant, even if you Des Bryant, for those that are talking about that, pardon my French, but shut the absolute fuck up. Because even if Des Bryant caught the ball and the Cowboys scored, there's still more time for Aaron Rodgers to have a game-winning drive with the Packers. So please sit down, shut your ass up, and drink your beer, drink your baby milk powder if you need to or whatnot. Just sit down, shut the fuck up, and pull up any DVDs that you got from a rusty old closet of old Cowboys highlights saying, "Oh my God, those were the glory days." Shut the hell up, y'all.
You cooked. Thank you. That's what I've been saying.
I could have
I don't
filleted
even
me on
drink.
that
But don't
bitch.
take that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I don't even know the rules as to how many can actually be admitted in the first round. But when you look at players who were snubbed from the 2025 list, yeah. Let's see. Inductees. Let's see. Okay, who did not make it? Bruh.
It's fine. We can speculate more about that.
Yeah, so
That's true.
Eli Manning did not make it in last year. Luke Kuechly did not make it in last year.
Whoa!
Mike Holmgren did not make it in last year, who was one of the most influential coaches of the turn of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Torrey Holt did not make in. Adam
What?
Vinatieri,
What?
Reggie Wayne, T. Sizzle, Steve Smith.
None of these guys are making it.
Yeah.
Except for Breeze.
I don't believe I have to. I'm not believe I'm gonna say this, but like in the words of Stephen A. Smith, that's blasphemous right there. Like
Mhm.
how the fuck does Des Bryant get in while these other legends don't?
No,
Smith
these
should
are
be
just
ahead of-
candidates. These are just candidates. That's the thing. So technically, Des Bryant is eligible, but when you look at the amount of people who are already on the list who were snubbed from last year, there's no way Des Bryant is making above anybody, because the only people who were actually enshrined into the Hall of Fame last year was Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp.
Yeah.
So honestly, I don't really see, like, if you can only make like 4 or 5 selections every year, then who do you actually select from this new crop of eligible players? Probably just Drew Brees and Larry Fitz, because you have T. Sizzle, who probably deserves more than anybody else on this list. Adam Vinatieri, Reggie Wayne deserves a shot in. Eli Manning, probably. Luke Kuechly, definitely. Mike Holmgren. They all like deserve ahead of Julian Edelman, Greg Olson, Shady McCoy, like Frank Gore, Jason Witten even. I think just these two are probably going to be enshrined as first ballot next year,
I
because
think those two are locks.
Huh?
I think those two are locks.
Yeah. Considering the amount of people who were snubbed last year. It's insane though.
Yeah. It is.
Why they're so small.
I mean, it is the Hall of Fame, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
The elite of the elite.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Kuechly didn't make it though.
Mm-hmm. I would have. Well, I guess I wasn't there for Eric Allen, since he was with the Eagles way early on, and then the Saints and the Raiders. So I don't really know. But Kuechly, again, like, does he deserve to go ahead of Sterling Sharp? Probably not. Sterling Sharp was on his way to break like a lot of records.
Yeah.
As a wide receiver. Antonio Gates.
Yeah. I feel like Kuechly's a little similar to Cam, and like at their peak, they're like on like the best of the best. But like the injuries and like they just didn't have like that long peak like a Hall of Famer would have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's enough of Hall of Fame talk. Let's move on to the actual discussion that we're going to have. All right. Let's get started with the AFC East division, starting with Cam and the Bills. Let's start with a recap of what happened in 2024. Cam, take it away.
So we finished the season, I believe, what was 11-6, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. Or no, because you guys had the second seed, right?
Yeah, we had the second seed.
Mm-hmm.
So,
13-4.
Oh, okay. So we went to the wild card, beat the Broncos, went to the division round, beat the Ravens, and then, I don't want to say it. I really don't want to say it. We lost.
It's okay.
Go ahead. It's okay.
It's a safe place.
Lost to Kansas City again because they fucking rigged the game.
Yep.
Barone, at least you guys beat them.
Thank you. No, I appreciate this, but Anant, well, how long did it take when we started this part?
20 minutes.
It took 20. Oh, we all damn it.
We all lost. Because Cam, the bet was.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it.
No, the bet was the over-under was 5 minutes from when you started trashing the Chiefs. So it's been 21 minutes since you've joined and you have not trashed the Chiefs. So all of us lost.
I always crash out when the Chiefs get involved or shit. Like, come on.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what happened in that playoff game then? Let's just take a deep dive. Because the Bills' offense was fantastic last year.
They looked really good. I'll say this: that catch from Worthy was an interception. Refs are blind. Okay.
Mm.
That shortage that Josh got, he got the first down. It was proven many goddamn times.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was definitely the first down.
And they flagged Kincaid for no reason. For dropping the ball. Like, what the fuck was that?
Well,
it's fine. They're all fired anyway. Thank God.
Wait, what do you mean they're all fired anyway?
They were fired.
Wait, what?
The refs in that game were fired.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
Huh.
I
Interesting.
don't know about that.
Fucking
So-
idiots. I swear to God. Can we do the same thing that baseball is doing?
Like what?
Because they have robot umpires now.
Oh.
I'm not even joking.
A robot umpire. I mean, I've watched a couple of Rangers games highlights. I don't think I've seen some robot umpire like
That's
that. But unless they had like replay
That's
or they
because
actually tell you ruling.
they were demonstrating it during the All-Star game. All they had to do was tap their heads, kind of like what motorcyclists do.
Mm.
Call it challenge. So
Interesting. I mean, the NFL definitely has the money,
Mhm.
and we definitely have the technology. Are they going to invest in it, or are they going to hoard it amongst their billions?
they're gonna say they'll do it, and they just won't end up doing it.
Exactly. like the only thing that we're happening that's happening from a technology standpoint is the chain gang that's going to be removed, and it'll be using digital technology to actually track the ball in real time. So that's a positive.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, when you look at how the Bill season ended, it's I mean, what more can you do?
We
Right?
had that game, but no, they just had to ruin it.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
Oh,
You coach.
Oh.
I think that would be the right bet. And like, hear me out, Cam. I think that should be like the direction the Bills should go. As much as McDermott is a good defensive coordinator, good, not great. I don't know if he can lead an offense, and if he can lead both, not just defense alone, but the entire team dynamics on how they make to go with their decision making.
If I was like Brandon, if I was Brandon Bean, I'd put McDermott at defensive coordinator and get herself another head coach.
Right.
Who is the head coach?
That's exactly what I would do if I was Brandon.
But we also want to talk about how was like your offense, like the offensive, but like but Cam, can you talk a little bit more about the offensive defense? Because for offense, holy shit, that offense was on fire, especially with Josh Allen.
Yeah, Allen, Cook, they were great. We also had Ray Davis, who was great. Who was the other one? Oh yeah, Ty Johnson was a good one.
Khalil Shakir.
Shakir,
Can't forget about that guy.
Shakir's good. Coleman popped the fuck off this year.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So did Kincaid. He improved. Knox barely had any targets, but he was all right.
And also I was just looking through some stats.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Allen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, you were saying something?
Yeah.
No. What did you want to say?
Quentin Morris had pretty good receptions. So.
Yeah. And just to help you, just to aid on that, like add on to it, what I was very impressed, like look at Josh Allen. 3,731 passing yards, 531 rushing yards, and 12 rushing touchdowns. And he guided the Bills to a record 525 offensive points. Like,
Yep.
And of course, James Cook, 1,009 yard rusher. So congrats on the 1,000-yard mark. And I mean, and defensive, and on your defensive side, Dorian Williams. I did not expect that guy. 14 tackles, 114 tackles.
He did very good.
Yeah, but like I would say, like your rush defense was like very good, but the passing, I would say it's like mediocre to. It was like close to mid at best.
But
Am I right on? No, go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. Josh only had one good hand. Had one good hand. He had two of his fingers taped together the entire season. He played with a broken finger. That's how good he is.
Yeah, that
That's like
O-line was so like I really think that was like the catalyst. Honestly, aside from Josh Allen, that like the fourth overall offensive line. They gave up the fewest sacks. I think.
Yeah.
Like that unit was really good for them, and it hasn't been as good as dominant as it was this year in the past few years.
And here's the thing, that season when Josh played with a broken finger reminded me about the time when I pitched with a broken wrist.
Dang.
I did that. I was kind of stupid for that, and my coach told me not to do it, but I did it anyway.
Well, I mean, I think like Josh's non-throwing hand was the one that was injured, right?
Yeah.
Righty. He has left take together.
Okay. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about that pass defense, though. Like Rakshak was saying, the rushing defense was actually pretty good, 8th in the league in terms of rushing DVA allowed, but pass defense was more middle of the field. Okay.
I was getting pulled.
Okay. All right. But yeah, what do you think about that pass defense?
Defense, spot on this year. Very good. It was very good.
Okay.
I'm not going to give it an A+, but I'll give it at least an A-. They improved a lot, but it's not entirely what we're expecting.
Mm.
And we
Okay.
and I think it's fair to say that because I know it's cliche if we say this, but every team's major goal should be to go to Super Bowl and play it. The Bills have been very close. I won't say they're gonna go this year, but
Mhm.
every single goddamn mother effing time, it's the boogeyman.
It's either Mahomes, it's either Kermit the Frog or Kevin from Home Alone. Sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe.
He's probably thinking Patrick Mahomes. If you're saying Kevin from Home Alone, it's I made the Bills disappear.
Oh,
I honestly just think they need a new head coach because McDermott's the defensive guy, and the last 5 years in the playoffs, they gave up 38, 42, 27, and 32. As a defensive guy, your defense can get torched every single year when you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league and the MVP this year.
yeah.
This is a lot like the mid 2010s Packers.
Can we tell Leslie Frazier to actually get to work instead of taking vacations? Please.
I
mean,
agree.
I like Joe Brady as an offensive coordinator, but still, we got to do something.
He's with the Seahawks, right?
Huh?
Yeah, Leslie Frazier.
Yeah, we played. I think the games I was impressed with the most was the 49ers game, the Chiefs game, and I think there was one more. I don't know what it was. The Jets game in Buffalo. That was a pretty good one. And so was the game in MetLife. That was actually really good.
All right.
I might attend a game they play the Chiefs after my birthday. So.
Oh,
But there's one game I also want to try and get to Cam.
What?
Eagles will play the Bills in Buffalo. I want to go.
Honestly, I would join you for that.
Hell, I just need to make sure my car is ready to go.
Yeah.
and it's not too damn cold, so I might just
if it's cold, I suggest looking for heated hoodies on Amazon. They got a lot of them.
Okay. Guys, remember if you're trying to go to a game to Buffalo, heated hoodies.
Be prepared, because it gets cold as hell up there.
Which is why NFL Masala is sponsored by Amazon. Make sure you.
I wish. No, we're sponsored by Yeti.
Yeti's a good brand.
AJ's got a block of cheese on his head. I'll put a fucking chicken wing in my head.
Okay. All
right. Let's move on.
So there were with that, there were a ton of players that the Chiefs that the Bills were able to
be careful, Chuck.
No, Cam is I was about to slip up and I was oh shit.
I'm like a shark. You better say it. I'm gonna strike you down.
But I'll say this: looking at the Bills signings, especially with the extensions, which one were there any ones that struck out to you that was really good?
Bosa, that was good. That was a good one. That was a very good signing.
Okay, it's on a 1-year contract as well. Let me share.
The fact that they extended Josh instead of franchise tagging him, that's a little concerning.
Okay. Yes. So that was for a 6-year, $330 million contract extension.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
did you agree with releasing Von Miller?
At first, I'm like, no, it was kind of a dumb idea, but we got something good out of it. So at least, I mean, he can walk in with the Commanders. So
yeah,
if you're Jalen Hurts or you're Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott, y'all better watch out. Von's coming for y'all.
All right. So when you look at all of the extensions and the signings that they've made this year, you look at some of the big players, like you said, Joey Bosa.
Yep.
They also retained Ty Johnson on a 2-year deal.
Yeah, Gillian. Yep.
Right. They brought
Palmer.
in Josh Palmer.
Palmer, I was a little concerned about, but at the end of it, day, I'm like, he should be all right. I watched some of his highlights from college and some from the Chargers. So
Yeah, and it's on a
should be
pretty
all right.
reasonable contract as well. It's just it's a $10 million per year contract.
Yep.
Not a lot guaranteed as well.
No,
So that should be good. But I think I really like the retaining of Greg Rousseau on a 4-year, $80 million deal. You keep your homegrown talent in at home, and he's been making strides, right? On the opposite of Ed Oliver, right? Especially for their run defense. I think he's been pivotal. What do you think?
Yeah, he's been pretty good. Same like we got Benford back, we got Ferguson and Bernard and Shakir back. We did a lot of we made a lot of good moves this offseason. I think we're ready for whatever the NFL throws at us. Especially yet again facing a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
I swear to God, the end of the season I'm a fucking rail on you when we win. You're not safe either. If we end up facing the Packers one day, you ain't safe.
I know, but that would be an entertaining Super Bowl.
It would.
Packers Bills. That would be really, really fun.
It would.
I would be extremely disappointed, but I wouldn't be angry.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be angry either.
And I think like what I really liked about like the extension, I mean, first of all, Josh Allen deserves every bit of money because he's literally carrying instead of like just to add to his accomplishments, not only is he a top NFL QB, and MVP, Pro Bowl, and also he's literally, I would say he's the Atlas of the Bills. If I'm talking about the Greek Titan, the Atlas who carried the world, he's literally carrying the Buffalo Bills.
He's literally carrying the Bills.
And I'm trying to say, help the man.
Help the man, guys. Like, come on, give him good weapons and stuff. Come on.
And two good signings I really liked. I did like the Khalil Shakir contract.
I did too.
4-year, $53 million. I think he was like a day 2, day 3 pick, and it's working dividends. I think he's emerging as a top young threat. And now with Keon Coleman, it's like the Bills saying, we don't need old ass players. Let's build on with the future and grow. Like how you have Kincaid taking over Dawson Knox in that tight end position, and then building that core with Shakir, Coleman, and I don't know, like another potential wide receivers. Like that is some good shit right there, man.
Would you say, Vern?
Yeah, hey, Stefan, we're over you, buddy.
I love it.
I'm replacing your jersey, by the way.
Yeah. You guys are. He's going to be facing you guys now.
Yeah.
Patriots Bills. That's going to be entertaining.
He'll get booed, and I hope he does.
Right. And some of the releases.
They traded him, did they not?
Huh?
The Bills traded.
The Bills are the ones who traded him, right?
No.
Yeah, to the Texans, right?
Yeah, I know he's a boot. I'm just thinking about like
from the Texans to the Pats, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he were.
You got Mac Hollins from us, so.
Oh yay!
Enjoy watching a guy walk barefoot in your city.
Yeah. It's not a great.
You know what? First year Mac Hollins when he was with the Eagles, I don't know if he did that shit, but all I know he did that backpack dance, and he's won the team that won the Super Bowl. So I'm happy with Mac Hollins.
A receiver is more known for not wearing shoes and his actual receiver abilities. I don't know.
Red flag, as they say. Red flag.
At least he's not Aaron Rodgers, who thinks he can win every year. So
yeah.
That is
as a Packers fan,
I know you had him, but still.
I only recognize Aaron Rodgers, the player. That's all I do.
Fair enough. So yeah, I think like with Von Miller and Sam Martin being released, like I'm surprised like the Bills had enough cap to like be okay with like what they have. But I also want to say something. The Bills draft. I know I'm spoiling it a bit, and I apologize for getting ahead on everyone. I do apologize. I truly mean it because I'm looking at the Bills draft. I am angry as hell because they got a lot. They picked some of the players that I was like looking like, oh, this could be a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Great value, and that pisses me off. I'm like, what the hell?
Hey, Chiefs haunt me. I'm gonna haunt you.
I'm not even a Chiefs fan, bro.
No. If Chiefs haunt the Bills, Bills are gonna haunt the Eagles. That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay, but let's go.
I don't care. I don't care if you guys beat Josh twice. We're coming for you.
Hey, you know what? I love it. I love that mentality. That's what we want. It's like everyone against everyone, man. There's a new season.
And let me break down a little something for any Bills fan who's listening to the show right now.
Okay.
So this is the farewell season at the Ralph, is what we call it, because that was the first name of our current stadium. Josh grew up a San Francisco fan, and that's where the Super Bowl is being held. If we can leave Highmark Stadium with a Lombardi trophy and put it in our brand new stadium and start the 2026-27 season with a banner in said stadium, just give Josh the Hall of Fame. It's not even worth waiting for retirement.
Don't even wait until he retires.
Just give it to him.
Just give it to him right there.
Damn. Oh,
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I love it.
Josh can win a Super Bowl in his home turf. So just give it to him if we end up doing win the Super Bowl. So.
And okay, so with this, let's just briefly talk about the Bills trade. Otherwise, and y'all take over because every time I'm going to talk about a name, I can recognize 3-4 players that I really like from that Bills thing. I'm going to get so mad about it. Just take it away.
All right.
Yeah. So Cameron, let's talk about this Bills draft. What are some of the picks that you liked? What are some picks that you didn't like? Just give us your overall thoughts.
Maxwell Harrington, that was a bit unexpected, but at the same time, good signing from Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon really locked in this draft. I'll just say that right now.
I agree.
And here's the thing. I remember last year, I know exactly why the Bills did not go for Worthy. Josh did not want him. He wanted Keon. And good choice. Good choice.
Okay.
Huh.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Do you know why?
Yeah, I know why.
Oh.
Because I know why. Because they studied his highlights and they said, "Oh, this guy's a good." And Josh said, "Oh, this guy could be some good weapons for me. Let's just take him."
Mm. Prefer the possession catch receiver over the deep threat.
Yep.
Yeah, and you could see that with the way the offense was functioning, anyways. Very, not a lot of deep throws, right? Because you don't really have that deep threat. A lot of intermediate throws, a lot of play action that you saw from the. So it really fit the scheme with what the Buffalo Bills were trying to do. So
yes,
it makes sense from that scheme fit. And then now when you look at this draft, you see a lot of defense, almost all defensive players, except for a couple of late round picks in the, in the skill position depth and one offensive tackle.
Like I said, our goal was to beef up the defense, and we got that done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I will try and talk about this without getting angry. Just someone tell me it's okay.
What did we take? Did we take someone that you were?
I'm looking at 3-4 people that I thought the Eagles could have landed if Howie did not decide to not play let's trade back. Had he not done that shit, there were a couple of players I really liked. PJ Sanders.
Womp womp.
I get
Beef up that D line even more.
And what's even more crazy, he could play backup to Ed Oliver.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, and looking at TJ Sanders, 8.5 total sacks over the last 2 seasons, 7.5 sacks lining up as a defensive tackle. He could apparently he could line up in multiple spots when in that South Carolina system. So he could play 3, and he has the potential to play 3 down.
Yep.
Like, that is just insane. But I think he's gonna look like 3 technique. And the second one, I think this was a big steal. Not only you're getting Joey Bosa, you decide to reinforce on the edge by getting Landon Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, holy shit. Did you see his combine?
Yeah, I did.
Like, and I think they're listing him as edge, right? 6'6", 264.
Yep.
He has length. 20 run stops the last 2 years, tied for 5th by an SEC defensive lineman.
And then you go out and get a pure nose tackle run stuffer in Deion Walker. Man is 6'7", 330 pounds. All right.
I'll just say this. We pissed off a lot of opposing fans, and you know what I gotta say to y'all? Good. You think y'all think y'all deserve talent? No, it's our fucking time this year. Get over it.
Yeah. And I think another underrated signing. I think there were 2 underrated, also 2 late underrated signings. Jordan Hancock, cornerback from Ohio State.
Yep.
No one knows this, but he could be a good backup sleeper role. Like, he has the experience playing the nickel and the safety position. So Sean McDermott realizes, hey, I remember something that I borrowed from the late Jim Johnson, God rest his soul. When Sean McDermott was an assistant with the Eagles back in the day. I think he played 42 games with the Buckeyes. He's a great special teams player. He can fit that role, because I think the Bills could definitely upgrade in that position.
Just put him in special teams then.
Yeah,
You can
and I'm gonna jump ahead on this one, but Chase Lund, holy shit! You got a 6'7" defensive tackle.
Yep.
No, he's a tackle, offensive tackle. Yeah. He only allowed 2 pressures and 1 sack in 2024 with UConn.
Mm-hmm.
That's a late round steal. If you can get
and here's the thing about UConn. UConn is not exactly a football school. It's mostly a baseball school. You see a lot of draft picks coming out of there.
Women's basketball, basically.
Basically, yeah. It's mostly baseball and women's basketball. That's it. You barely see anyone go to the NFL from UConn.
Oh, men's too. They went.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah. No, I mean, this is why we preach our mantra, right? Build through the trenches. Because if you can draft and develop, then you have the luxury of taking a flyer on an athletic, raw, talented offensive lineman in day 3, and then develop him into be a starting NFL, offensive lineman. You see all the great teams do that. You look at the Eagles, Packers, Chiefs, Bills now, Lions, the Ravens. They all have the ability to go out, find talent, and develop this. So for all the other teams, this is what you should try and target. Develop the infrastructure to go out and draft these caliber of players, so that you don't have to rely on signing over-the-top market, tackles like what the Titans did with Dan Moore. Right? You don't have to pay $20 million premium for that. But that's what the good teams do.
Yeah, you also don't have to wait 5 rounds just to draft Shedeur Sanders, didn't you, Cleveland?
Random shot out of nowhere to Cleveland. Well deserved.
Well, I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, right here. This is Mel Kiper, the Rock Shock edition, right there. I think this is a horrible take from what you're saying right there, Cameron. Because Shedeur Sanders is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever watched him play. I mean, he was taught under his daddy, Deion Sanders, and he led Colorado to epic proportions. Hell, his jersey is getting retired. He should be He should have been the number one.
He should have been a first rounder.
Anand, I'm sorry, man. My inner Mel Kiper just took over.
Should have been a first rounder. And we all know that. But no, Travis, first round.
Yeah, but I think like overall it was a great draft.
It was a
And
good draft. Very good draft.
I want to say, correction, that was a great draft by the Bills. They basically shored up the trenches. Which is, and so they can legitimately get after Mahomes, stop any rushing attacks, and I think I'll say the only thing that's going to hold you back is going to be that coaching under Sean McDermott. I do not trust that man. He is sus as hell.
Mm-hmm. We'll figure out a way around it as the season goes. But
all right. Yep.
I'm gonna make a World War II reference. This is like climbing the beach of Normandy and then just fucking storming the bunkers.
Hey, at least it's the better analogy than what McDermott did in the past.
You just exit the boat and you gotta climb up that. You gotta climb up the sand. That's what it's been like the last few years. And y'all haven't stormed the bunkers. The damn Germans got you.
Yep.
I can say it. I'm German. I don't care.
Scheiße. Okay. That's all I know. But all
right. Let's end the discussion before we go off on a unsupervised tangent.
Let's end the World War II shit before we end up causing a worldwide beef.
Exactly. But with that, what are your season expectations? A record and result. What are you looking at?
And your most favorite player of the year for next year. The star player of the year. Okay.
Realistically, I think we're going undefeated, but realistically, I see 15-2.
Okay.
15-2.
I see us losing to probably. Let me pull up the schedule. Probably Cincinnati and maybe Atlanta, but realistically, if we were to lose the second game, I'd say probably Philadelphia or Tampa Bay.
I don't know about Philadelphia or Tampa Bay. I think
either Philly will give us a second loss or Tampa Bay will.
I honestly think the Bills will beat the Eagles during late that stage. I have a bad feeling about this season.
I'll remember that.
I like, again, to Eagles fans, I'm not being negative. I'm trying to be realistic and see.
You're gonna go in the Buffalo singing, "Oh, the Eagles are gonna win. The Eagles are winning." And we're gonna run all over. We're gonna run all over Jalen Hurts.
Oh, shit talking already. Okay, let's get that. You know what? Jersey bet. Let's do this shit. Okay. For this game,
just getting it pumped up.
If the Eagles beat the Bills, you have to wear my Jalen Hurts jersey. You have to wear my Jalen Hurts jersey and put it up on Instagram for a full week.
God damn it. Okay.
If the Eagles lose against the Bills.
How about this? The loser wears the winner's jersey for a week.
Yeah. I'm good with that. Okay, hold on. Do you have this on record?
Yes, sir. This is all being recorded.
If you're a size medium, it works. If you're like bigger size, it's probably not going to work.
I work with medium and large, so I'm good with that.
Okay, that works. It's on record, guys. It's on record.
Let's get it, baby.
You're probably going to be digging your grave soon, pissing off Eagles fans. Like, they're going to be like, "Why are you wearing a Josh Allen jersey?" And I'll go online and say, "He lost the bet. That's why."
Yeah. But you know what? I wouldn't mind wearing that jersey because Allen's the real deal. I'll say that.
He is the real deal.
So one more Dhamakadar piece of news. The Colts have also agreed to a 4-year, $100 million extension with Bernard Raymond.
What?
Including $60 million guaranteed.
What?
Who?
DeMar Raymond?
Offensive tackle.
Bernard Raymond. Yeah, left tackle for the Colts.
I thought you were gonna say Daniel Jones. I'm like, he is not worth that much.
Yeah. No, at least to a certain team that prioritized Daniel Jones over Saquon Barkley. Just saying. But also I want to say I'm very happy that the Bills were able to resign DeMar Hamlin.
Oh yeah,
Like personally, I like the DeMar Hamlin. I love DeMar Hamlin.
it's hilarious because he's been saying he wanted to go to Pittsburgh, but he ended up staying here. So
Yeah. But speaking of which, you're saying 15-2 and
15-2
What about playoffs? What are you thinking?
playoffs. I say we go Super Bowl bounds.
Okay,
Hey,
Super
this
Bowl
is the
bound.
year.
That is it. That is if Kansas City doesn't make it, because apparently they're our kryptonite.
Mhm.
And your player of the year, who is the Bills player of the year? Who's it
I'm
going to
saying
be?
Josh Allen again.
Fair enough. There you have it. According to Cam, the Bills are going to go 15-2. They're going to go to the Super Bowl and win it. And Josh Allen's going to be the player of the year. Shandar player of the year. Fair enough.
Defensive wise, I'm saying I'm either saying Harrington or Bosa.
Maxwell Hairston or Joey Bosa? Oh,
Mhm.
interesting.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay. Okay.
Get ready, Bills fans. We got one last ride in the route before we move across the street. So I've seen that stadium. It's fucking amazing.
Hey, at least it's better than the new stadium that Chicago is building.
Yeah.
I've been told it's renovations to Soldier.
Nah, it's not. Okay.
Alrighty.
Anyway, let's go to
Next
the
up.
Let's go to the team that has been relevant since Tommy left.
Oh,
Oh shit!
your time.
Yeah, bro, you should have put in a bet on this one. Like, what the hell?
I don't care if you beat us week 18. That was a bullshit game. We were still going to playoffs anyway.
Wait, do you mean the team that has a Super Bowl? Because
Ooh, that's changing this year, buddy. You better pray you don't come to Buffalo. You better fucking pray.
it's fine. The Chiefs will take care of it. We know how it is.
No, you pulled the Chiefs.
Started at this shit.
This is gonna be clipped.
Dude, no, Mick I need a timestamp on this shit.
Yes.
Hey, how did Mac Jones do? They thought he was Tom Brady. What the hell
Hey,
happened?
same amount of Super Bowls as Josh Allen.
Oh.
Oh.
Wasn't your last one against the Rams and they sucked back then?
Super Bowl's a Super Bowl, bro.
Okay.
Same
Oh my god.
I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fucking die.
All right. Officially, I think we can say that Varun won the.
We'll save the
One
shit
more.
talking for when we actually play each other. Is that a deal for that?
Yeah.
I just want to have an episode when me and Varun face each other and it's gonna be fucking chaotic.
Yeah. Well, I think
I
we
think
should
I
do
need
that
to bring
on one of the weeks, right?
Yeah,
let's make that happen.
I honestly think I need to bring out some pop. I actually need to warm up and bring some popcorn in front of me.
No, Varun, you know what we should do? We need to get two guys who are a fan of the Dolphins and the Jets, and they will really make it a beef.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! Oh god!
Why put them through that misery?
Okay.
Jets fans have been through enough.
Yeah. Oh no. There's.
I'm gonna be speaking about the Jets pretty soon. Don't worry about it.
Oh no, they're already in the hole. They've been there since '69. So
Oh shit! Just Joe Namath.
every time they have a flight, they end up crashing. It's an aviation joke.
Oh, no. What have we done? What have we done?
I think I committed a war crime. That's what I did.
Yeah. NSA is watching very closely to this episode.
Oh my god, bro. We're gonna get canceled.
I ended up being the missile launcher that took down that Malaysia Airlines flight. That's what I did.
Oh, whoa! Okay, let's cut that part off and let's just go
Yeah,
on.
cut that part. I'll cut that part out.
Cut it. Oh god.
I just
Okay,
feel I just chose violence today. Holy shit!
Yeah, no shit. You literally said like, you know what? Screw the format.
Screw family friendly shit. I'm going all in.
Oh God. Varun, can you just talk about your Patriots and end this madness?
Go ahead, Varun, go
I got.
Oh my God.
Rune has been just silently watching. All right, Varun, go ahead. Starting with the recap of 2024, what they did, what happened, offensive impressions, defensive impressions.
So pretty much like with hindsight, you can see that year like 24 was pretty much doomed from the start because you went from obviously like the greatest coach ever, Bill Belichick, to a completely unproven Jerome Mayo. And then when you aside from Jerome Mayo, like if you look at that staff, it was extremely inexperienced. Jerome Mayo had never been a coordinator before, so he was the head coach. And then you had Alex Van Pelt, even though he's been a coach for a long time, very limited play calling. Like, when I researched it, like, because he called in 2009, and then like briefly when Kevin Stefanski was out, so you were pretty much like a offensive coordinator without like play calling experience. And then you had a defensive coordinator, new one, DeMarcus Covington. He's never been that was his first time being a coordinator, and he's never called plays before. So you pretty much have a coaching staff full of people who are pretty much inexperienced in you. And you combine that with a rookie quarterback and a roster that was very flawed. So obviously you'd see a big regression from when Bill Belichick was there. Since Tom Brady has left, it's been pretty much like the Patriots defense has been extremely elite and the offense has been very mediocre. And then you saw, obviously, when you replace Bill Belichick with an unproven defensive-minded coach, the defense also took a big step back, specifically focusing on like what really went wrong. The offensive line was horrible. It was rated the worst pass blocking grade. It had the worst pass blocking grade. It was still at the bottom half for run blocking. And no matter what, a quarterback can't succeed with the offensive line that low, let alone Jacoby Brissett and a rookie quarterback. So even if you look at like some of the top offenses now, like the Chiefs, Bills, like, you know, like Ravens, teams like that, even though they don't have like the true like superstar receiver anymore, they still have like they have offensive lines they can then lean on and like run an efficient offense with. And the Patriots just set themselves. They were doomed with like their personnel. And as far as the defense, the pass rush took a huge step back because Christian Barmore missed the whole year. And he was their best defensive player, or arguably second, Christian Gonzalez. But when you lose your best pass rusher, have a big coaching turnover like you did then, they were poised for a step back. So that's ultimately what went wrong. The roster wasn't good enough to succeed. The roster wasn't good enough to overcome the bad coaching they had. And that brings it to the next season, which is why I'm a lot more optimistic than last season. First of all, you replaced probably the worst head coach in the NFL at the time, Jerome Mayo, with arguably a top 10 coach in Mike Vrabel. So you're bringing in a proven head coach right off the bat. And you're also bringing in Josh McDaniels, another proven offensive coordinator who's won Super Bowls. Bills can't relate, but anyway.
Cannot head coach to save his life. Cannot head coach.
Right, which is why he's not head coach now.
Yeah, but as an offensive coordinator, he's as good as you can get. Like, he has familiarity with the system. Honestly, looking back, what he did with Mac Jones was honestly like remarkable. Like, he made Mac Jones a borderline top 12-ish quarterback, and with that limited weapons they had, they were still like among like the above average in efficiency.
Right.
So giving Josh McDaniels someone who has like the tools of Drake May, like there's a lot to like look forward to. And then as far as the defense, they brought in the Lions defensive line coach Terrell Williams.
That's a good pickup, honestly.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, you have Mike Vrabel as your DC as well, right?
That's honestly something too. Like, when you have a first-time coordinator, like they should be able to lean on the head coach. Right. And when you had Jerome Mayo, like
honestly, Covington probably had more experience than Jerron Mayo looking back.
Right.
But you bring in a coveted defensive line coach from the Lions. And so as far as coaching staff, you see a massive upgrade. That's a few wins upgrade. That's a few wins worth of change they had.
Mm-hmm.
And then now is the more fun part, the personnel. So as I mentioned, they were a bottom tier pass blocking offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of additions, so I'll just cover the very notable ones.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
The biggest one, in my opinion, on the offense is you bring in Will Campbell. The best offensive tackle in the draft. He shores up the left tackle spot, protects May's blind side. He was heavily dominant in the SEC. So you hope with the 4th overall pick that he can be your staple left tackle.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other side, you bring in Morgan Moses. He is up there in age, but he has been very durable, and when he has played, he's always had around a top 10-ish pass grade and run blocking grade. So,
right. And from a right tackle, sorry to interrupt, but from a right tackle position, you don't really need a top 2 tackle. You just need someone who's not going to leak pressures.
Yeah, and when you look at the Patriots right tackle last year, it wasn't even a starting caliber right tackle.
Yeah. So, was it Vidarian Lowe?
He was a left tackle. They had Demontre Jacobs.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, you pretty much replace 2 honestly, just to be frank, they shouldn't be starting on an NFL team, 2 tackles, and you bring in the best offensive tackle in the draft and I'd say one of the better right tackles.
Mm-hmm.
So you shore up that, and then in the draft they draft Jared Wilson, the center from Georgia.
Such a good pick.
I didn't think he'd be there, but he was considered the best center.
Mm-hmm.
So you really shore up the offensive line, and like you said, build through the trenches, right? Mm-hmm. So you bring in 3 what I assume would be very quality starters, and that shore ups the line. And then as far as skill position, you needed a wide receiver 1, so you signed Stephon Diggs. So obviously he's coming off a torn ACL, but he was on pace to have another 1,000 plus yard receiving year. And honestly, Stephon Diggs at 80% is still probably better than anything the Patriots have in the last 4 or 5 years. So you bring him in as a vet, someone who's a proven separator. And then the one I'm really excited for, they drafted Travion Henderson. He's if you watch the Patriots for the last few years, they lack big plays. Everything was dink and dunk. They just didn't have a consistent player who could get open downfield, or not downfield, but who can make big plays. And then you bring in probably one of not the best running back in the class, but I'd say best at creating big plays.
Yeah.
You add that with his receiving abilities and combine that with what Josh McDaniels likes to run, he's a great fit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the offense. And then in terms of the defense, you bring in Milton Williams from the Eagles.
Oh my God, such a good signing.
I love that signing. He had I forgot what it was. He had one of the highest pressure rates of all eligible defensive tackles. And then on top of that, you bring Christian Barmore is supposed to be back this year. So you have Milton Williams and Christian Barmore. That should be that's
good enough right there.
I think I'll say this for sure. Milton Williams, he definitely earned that paycheck. 4 years, and I didn't think with the cap that we had, Howie Roseman wasn't going to give him a team friendly deal. He wants that grab the money, and he got it. He well deserved it. And I think the reason why he was able to get tons of pressure, even here's a bit of context for those. In the 2021 NFL draft, the Eagles picked him in the 3rd round at best. No, in the 3rd round, and he overperformed that and he overperformed. He was very consistent. Not only, as you said, pressure, but getting to the quarterback and a big run stopper. And just as a little bit of a disclaimer, he was able to get a lot of those pressures when he was also lined up to Jalen Carter. So that is something.
Yeah, but you line him up with Barmore too.
But so I could expect Barmore with that. Okay, so I think like so. Then Williams should just keep on doing this what he's been doing great at, like making the quarterback's life a living hell, which he can do. And I'm excited for Milton Williams to do that for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the defensive line. And then you have Keon White, who's Keon White's like one of my big breakout candidates on the Patriots for this year.
Mhm.
Like, he just wasn't a great fit with Jerron Mayo, but now you have an actual NFL coach and not like a. Actually, no, I'm not gonna trash Jerron Mayo, but yeah, you have an actual NFL coach, so it should be a much improved defensive line. And to make this quicker, like for the secondary, they got Carlton Davis, so you pair him with probably one of the top 3 quarterbacks in Christian Gonzalez, and you have one of the more stout defensive back duo. And like they had like lots of like good depth moves, like at defensive tackle and linebacker, like Robert Spillane. Like they really shored up the defensive side, which was their specialty over the last few years. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
What about getting in? You talk about Carlton Davis. Did you talk about Harold Landry?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. They had so many. Yeah, he's a variable guy. He's been a double-digit sack guy, but his pass rush rate is actually really low. Like but you just need more people who can get after the passer. He's not going to be like the most relied upon. That's why you bring in Milton Williams. You hope Keon White breaks out, Barmore's back, but he's a really good depth signing for someone who can get after the passer.
Right, and I think he's going to be more critical in your run defense, especially setting the edge, because you guys run a 3-4 right defense.
Yeah, he needs to.
Yeah. Like you said, I don't think he's going to be your number 1 pass rusher. I think it's going to be pass rushing by committee.
Yeah.
Right. It's kind of going to be like, I guess, Rakshak, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl in 2017, was that really pass rush by committee, or did that have like 1-star pass rusher?
I think it was a combination of pass rush by committee, because not only you had like, if I remember, it was a combination. You know what? It's been
you had like Brandon Graham, you had Fletcher Cox, you had Derek Barnett a little bit.
Yeah, Barnett. You also had
Barnett was useless the entire time until the only thing he was known for was recovering to that fumble that Brandon Graham like forced on Tom Brady. That's legitimately what it is. But if I wanted to talk about the defensive line, I pulled it up. Like you had, it was basically by committee. Not just Brandon Graham, Fletcher Cox. You also had Vinny Curry, Tim Jernigan, hell, Chris Long coming up, pairing up and taking a lot of snaps from Barnett at one side. Bo Allen and Destiny Vitale. I mean, no, Destiny Veo was like back then, but it was like mainly Jernigan's, Long, Allen, Cox, Curry, and then yeah.
So at the end of the day, you're gonna have something like that, right? I think like Milton Williams and Christian Barmore are gonna be up there with pass rushing wreckers in the interior line, right? Because I think another team that has a really good interior pass rush duo would probably be the Giants. When you look at who they have Dexter Lawrence, and now Darius Alexander, their rookie, along with Brian Burns and
Abdul Carter on the edge.
Yeah, Abdul Carter.
Yeah,
I forgot they had Abdul Carter.
Damn.
Completely forgot they drafted him.
Just say that.
Freaking
that D line is gonna be.
I remember Rossi's reaction. She fucking crashed out.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's see. So you talked about Harold Landry. Anybody else that you think is going to be important? Oh, did you talk about who else in their draft? Did you talk about Kyle Williams?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I didn't touch on it.
Okay.
But
so I guess we can go in the draft now. Actually, okay, before you go, I just checked this today. You guys still have $60 million of cap space.
Oh damn.
Christian Wilkins, come on over.
Christian Wilkins, dare I say Trey Hendrickson?
Oh. The only thing I will say about Hendrickson is like his age doesn't really match the timeline.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he definitely have a space for a big swing.
Okay. All right. So I guess we can go on to the draft. Do you want me to share my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So you talked about Will Campbell, Travion Henderson, Jared Wilson. Oh my God. So many good.
There are so many good ones.
This was one of the better drafts the Patriots have had in a long time.
Very, very long time.
Oh, okay.
No offense. No offense. No offense.
I like
It's true.
no,
It's
like
true.
I'll say this: the Craig Woodson pick, it's a very underrated sign. Is a very underrated pick.
Oh, kicker too. They
Yeah.
arguably the best kicker in the draft, actually.
Borregales?
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys-
I really like the Kobe Minor pick. I think he was a good late round swing. I think he's a pretty athletic corner. Yeah. I guess he would play in the slot if he gets any chances, but yeah, I mean, this is you could definitely see like 4 starters potentially by the end of the season
Oh yeah.
if you include Jared Wilson.
I think Wilson's gonna beat the Patriots signed Bradbury from the
Right.
Vikings. Yeah,
Oh,
I
they got
think
Bradbury?
Wilson will beat him out by the end of
Yeah.
the year.
Garrett Bradbury, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I also like this one, Marcus Bryant. That was a good pickup. Depth again.
Oh yeah. Looking at the offensive line last year, just get anyone who can play.
Right? Because you look at the depth chart now, I think, and you're still waiting on Jalen Polk to break out, Javon Baker to break out. I know, Vroon, you and I both talked about how last year Javon Baker was going to be like that breakout candidate, but
Yeah, he just never got any opportunity.
right.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of like wide receiver twos in Pop Douglas, Matt Collins, Kendrick Bourne.
That's honestly you got Diggs, but you still need like that high end like Terry McLaurin maybe.
Right. This
Just
could be a scary
someone
territory.
like that.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on the roster?
Nothing specific. I really like how the O-line shaped up though.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like last year you had Vidarian Lowe, Saidi Sow, like you said, Jamontre Jacobs,
Yeah, he was the starting right tackle.
and then Cole Strange. Cole Strange was your best offensive lineman last year.
He missed like most of the year too.
Right.
God, I still
Yeah.
remember when they picked him. Oh my god.
You were like, huh? That
The
was
last pick by Bill Belichick, right? As the GM?
22. I think he had one more year.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, was it 22?
I
That was
think this
22,
was
right?
last year. Yeah, this is 22.
Yeah, because 24 was the first draft he didn't have.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So Elliot Wolf completely whiffed that one. That's not even on Belichick. But
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see Kyle Duggar and Jabril Peppers become better safeties as well, because I like this young core, this young secondary as well, with
Yeah.
Carlton Davis being the oldest one at what, 29, 28. So I think when I looked at the so here you can see team cap tracker and average age. Yeah. 6th youngest team in the league.
yeah.
So
Oh,
considering
I didn't even talk about May. Like all of this is to make sure Drake May, like he really pops the year too.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess we can that's a good transition now into what do you think this season is going to look like? Who's going to what the record that you're going to predict, and then your Shandar player of the year for your team.
So record first or
Yeah, record, result in terms of like postseason, if anything, and then you can end with your favorite player.
okay. So in terms of record, because May is actually a big reason why I think the Patriots will be good this year. Like I mentioned, they had bottom 3 receiver core that had separation, bottom 3 blocking offensive line, and he still was fairly productive in like the limited time he got. His rushing ability was actually huge. He was among the highest in quarterbacks in yards per attempt, and I believe he had like the most like rushing yards that from plays that were not designed, like
like scramble.
Yeah, scrambles. Like no running plays designed for him.
Damn.
And that's honestly something that like frustrated like a lot of people. Like the coaching staff saw how great he was moving, and they still never called anything. But McDaniels, you already know he's gonna clean that up. Considering the offensive line additions, May year 2 with actual coaches, I think, and the easy schedule. That's one of them too. The schedule is very easy for them this year. I think 9-8, 10-7 is very doable. And wild card appearance, I don't think they'll win a wild card game, but you know, it's kind of like the rookie year Mac Jones thing, where obviously May is a lot more gifted, but you just want to see like a big step in like the right direction. So with Vrabel at helm, I think 9-8, 10-7 is like a reasonable goal.
Gotcha.
And then my favorite player is May. But if you want to ask like who I think will be the best, it's probably Christian Gonzalez. He's probably been the best player they've had since he got drafted in 23.
Yeah. No, I agree. All right. Well, thank you guys again for your excellent takes on both the Bills and the Patriots. Let's move on to the other 2 teams, the more conflicting teams in this division. The ones with the most negative outlooks, I would say, on both of the teams. I'll go ahead and I'll start with the Dolphins. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say with this team. Like, no Tua, no success. Even with Tua, they barely had any success. There's no consistency in anything in either of their
teams.
Huh?
They can't beat like teams with above 500 records.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It doesn't make any sense.
But like, I mean, I dug very deep into statistical nerddom to figure out why they were so inconsistent, especially in their like offensive side. Apparently they had the 22nd ranked offense overall, 20th in pass, but 30th ranked rush offense in terms of DVOA, even with the Devon A-Chain, who they have. Even with Devon A-Chain, they were 30th ranked. And I think it's partly because their passing game was so not static, but so one-dimensional. I think because they weren't generating explosive plays, they only had they were ranked 30th in explosive play rate, which led to just 16th in EPA per dropback, which is very average, middle of the pack performance. And so when you look at all of the metrics, there was that one question where I tried to figure out why was their passing offense so intermediate, or not intermediate. Why did they focus only on intermediate passing? Why were they not able to generate? Like, despite having 2 of the fastest wide receivers in the league, they still weren't able to generate a lot of explosive plays. And you could ask if it's, you could have asked if it was like offensive line performance, but they actually had a pretty decent offensive line performance. They were 7th in allowed pressure rate, but also they had the quickest time to throw. And I think that is where you have to start looking into, because that could be 2 things. Either the quarterback just wanted to get rid of the ball very quickly, which Tua does, or it's the scheme. And that is where I think the issue lies, because Mike McDaniel, I don't think crafted a great scheme for this season. Because when you look at their average depth of target, which is when you when you measure all of the wide receivers and the throws that were made or the attempts that were made, and then you average out where the wide receiver was when the attempt was made, that average depth of target was last in the league, which means they had the shortest average depth of target in the entire league, which confirmed that they had tons of intermediate and short passing versus trying to at least pass deep, past 20 plus air yards. So this led to a very death by a thousand paper cut style offense, which was prominent for like mid 2010s Patriots, right? When you look at those Patriots teams, correct me if I'm wrong, Varun, but a lot of those teams did not try and force the ball down the field, right? It was very much make your moves in the intermediate areas of the field, have a lot of screen passes, and try and milk the clock with your offense.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, that's what the Dolphins tried to do this year as well, which doesn't really make sense considering the wide receiver core that they have. But when you look at, I guess, why they were so hesitant to throw, the easiest explanation is Tua, right? He is not even though he has the wide receivers, whenever you see him throw those like deep balls, they're always either like 5 yards too short or just not in sync with his wide receivers. And I just don't think after all those concussions, they want him to hold the ball on, for a long period of time in that pocket, which is why they have such a high or such a low time to throw rate. Right, the quickest time to throw rate, and why they prefer a ton of intermediate and short passing because of Tua. And this offense could have worked if they had a pretty strong run game and if their defense was also strong in terms of not giving up a lot of points. But neither of them were great either. So when you have a quarterback who is often injured severely with concussions, who still continues to take those type of risks, you then have an offensive coordinator who reluctantly creates a scheme that prevents a lot of injuries for his quarterback by forcing him to throw the ball and get rid of the ball very quickly, which inevitably means you have a ton of short and intermediate passing and not a lot of deep passing. And I think that's just not a winnable formula. In this day and age, you just can't expect to win a lot of games and get into the playoffs and win a lot of playoff games without an explosive passing offense or without a decently strong rushing attack. I just don't think they had the offensive line for developing a strong rushing attack, which is why they were so low. I think they were like bottom 10 in adjusted line yards allowed, which measures how much yardage the offensive line actually gains versus the amount of yards the running back gains. So offensively speaking, I think after diving into the metrics, you could clearly see that this is a Tua issue. Like, yeah, he has a high completion percentage, but that's because they focus so much on short and intermediate throws, which leads to not an explosive offense. And unless you have a top 5 defense, which they don't, you're not going to win too many games. Right? Did I miss anything from y'all's perspectives?
You can't go a year without dying.
I didn't say anything. I did not say anything.
How's that, Dolphin fans? Get rid of them.
Oh boy. Varun, you were unmuted, and then I
You've
think
been
you
muted the whole time.
No, I mean,
Until just now.
I think you covered it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you covered it, and it's like, again, you mentioned this, but a lot of the time, The only thing that the only way the Dolphins can win games and be productive is through Tua.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and with all the injuries that we've seen and all that, and I don't even know if it's just Tua. I also put a lot of blame on Mike McDaniel as well,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
because I think everyone is trying to copy that Kyle Shanahan passing tree, honestly. And I think it's time. And I also think they have to change up the scheme. They have to change up the offensive scheme planning. I get the intermediate passing. I get it. That's what you want to do to protect Tua. Throw the ball early quickly because the O-line is not too bad, but
Not that great.
not that great. It's mid.
Mm-hmm.
And and there was no consistency on like, oh, are they going to go pass heavy? Are they going to go run heavy? It's like literally throwing darts on a board.
You don't
and
have an identity.
Exactly. No identity at all. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be a run heavy? Are you going to run by committee? Are you going to go pass happy and then run the ball? Like, what the hell it is? I think like, I think it's also a coaching. I think, which is why I'm saying this again. It's a coaching problem, and I think this will probably be Mike McDaniel's last year as a Dolphins head coach. If he does not establish that type of continuity, if you do not know what your identity is, then what the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, this past year, Dolphins were 61% in pass rate, 18th in the league, and 38% rush rate, which is 18th in the league, despite having someone like Devon A-Chain.
What? It's insane.
Let's just take a look at the top 10 rushing teams and see how well they did in the playoffs, right?
Please do.
Eagles, number 1, Super Bowl champions.
Fair enough.
Packers, number 2, pretty decent success. Ravens, number 3, also amazing success. Lions, number 4, at 45%. Now, Steelers come in at 5th.
Uh-oh.
Colts and Falcons at 6th and 7th. But then you have the Bills at 8th, Rams at 9th, and 10th Chargers. So out of the top 10 teams, you have 7 teams who are playoff caliber teams who focus more than 40% of their effort or of their play selection on the run game, which clearly shows that having an effective run game is one of the major secrets of getting into the playoffs, as along with having a great quarterback, right? All of these 7 teams have great quarterbacks along with their rushing game. So you look at where the Dolphins are. They're in the area with the Saints, the Niners, the Bucks. Bucks have Baker Mayfield, and they're in a weak division, so that's going to get a guaranteed playoff berth. Vikings, very, I feel like last year was a very abnormal year. You don't really expect Sam Darnold and the Vikings or any Sam Darnold-led team to have that much success. But Sam Darnold, Vikings, Jags, Broncos, and the Patriots, that's the area that they're in, really. So, like you guys said, they have no identity, but that's and I feel like their identity is protecting Tua. So while I agree that Mike McDaniel needs to change the scheme a little bit, I just don't see how, because Tua is such a one-dimensional player. Right? You can't really risk him. You can't use his mobility because A, he's injured, B, he's injured, C, he might die. So you're not going to risk his head, right? I just don't think, like, maybe
they're already doing that.
Right. So you can't really risk him in the rushing game. And in the passing game, you can't risk him to hold on to the ball too long and let the deep routes develop. Even if you have the fastest receivers, you still need like 4 seconds for a deep post route or a go route to develop in layers. I think this is more of a Tua problem. I think Mike McDaniels is a good OC. He's not a good head coach.
Yeah.
I think until they get rid of Tua, until they replace him with a quarterback that has
So a tank for Archie then.
but they're too good to tank. That's the problem. They're too good to tank. They're going to win games. Because they made some improvements, right? Now,
Right.
before I get to that, I just want to talk a little bit about the defense. Every single unit, except for the right side of their secondary, was not a top 10 unit.
And
Only the right side of their secondary.
Can I add to that? And who in their right mind thought it was correct to fire Vic Fangio, their defensive coordinator?
I mean, I'm sure you're glad.
I was shocked when I saw that. I'm like, why the hell would you fire him? And then when the Eagles were able to get him, I'm like, Shukriya, Dhanyavad,
Yeah.
Romanandri,
And you saw
Dakishan, muchas gracias, mi amigo,
yeah.
Shukran. Yeah. Just to say a few.
Yeah, and then you saw what he was able to do with a loaded defense in the Eagles. The Dolphins had some good players last year, right? I think they still had Christian Wilkins. They had Calais Campbell, and their secondary was decent. They still had Jalen Ramsey, Kendall Fuller, and Javon Holland. But Kendall Fuller and Javon Holland was the only only unit of the secondary of their entire defense that actually functioned. And Javon Holland had the 4th lowest completion percentage allowed amongst all safeties last year.
He was a good pick. When the Dolphins got him from Georgia, from that Georgia defense, I think that was Javon Holland from Georgia, right?
I don't think Holland was on Georgia.
I don't think he was either.
But guess what they did?
Yep. What'd they do?
They let him go.
Idiot. My God.
They let go of Javon Holland and Jalen Ramsey and Kendall Fuller. You literally let go of one of the best young safeties in the league. And yes, you did trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick, but could you imagine if your safety tandem was Minkah Fitzpatrick and Javon Holland? That's fly zone right there.
And with that trade made no sense.
Yeah.
You're plugging in, you're basically removing a circle and you're trying to plug in a square. That made no sense at all. Yes, you wanted to secure how do I put this kindly? You wanted to help your corner room, but you decide to give up a safety position. No, you gave up a corner so you could try and fill up the safety room. What? This ain't 3D chess. This is bullshit checkers as far as I'm seeing.
But yeah, and not only did they get rid of Jalen Ramsey for Minkah Fitzpatrick, they also got rid of Javon Holland. I don't necessarily dislike the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade. I dislike it because they got rid of Javon Holland. They should have kept Javon Holland, paid him the contract, pair him with Minkah Fitzpatrick, and you have one of the best, if not probably the best safety tandem in the entire league.
Exactly.
And if you don't let go of Vic Fangio last year, or the year before that, at the end of 22, and you keep him until this year, who knows what he could have done with that safety tandem.
And you want to know the funny thing, why they decided to let go of him? Because the player said, oh, no, he's being too hard, and he doesn't fit the Miami culture.
Right.
Can I call out bullshit?
Pussies.
Bitches.
Yes.
No, in the words of the Fab Five, very great documentary about that Michigan team. When they're talking about Christian Laettner, I have those words to tell them about the Dolphins offense.
Okay.
Overrated, soft, pretty boy, bitch.
And then now they've replaced Javon Holland with Ashton Davis from the Jets, who was ranked 150th in completion percentage allowed last year.
Ooh.
I don't understand these moves. They let go of Jalen Ramsey. They bring in Jack Jones. They let go of Kendall Fuller. They promote Storm Duck and Cater Kohu. Storm Duck and Cater Kohu did have good performances. I think they were in like the top 20 in cornerbacks or top 30 in cornerbacks allowed and completion percentage allowed. But it's just like there were a lot of conflicting moves. Even when you look at the offseason moves, they brought in Kendall Sheffield as the backup, Benito Jones, backup D tackle. They brought in old man Artie Burns. They brought in,
and by the way, he's out for the season with a torn ACL.
right now he's out for the season. It was on a 1-year contract, so that's fine. But Ifeatu Melifonwu, it's just like, and they bring in James Daniels on a 3-year, $24 million contract from the Bears. The Bears, notorious for having a good offensive line.
Yeah, I was gonna say your camera's a little bit unfocused.
This is what ineptitude looks like. It forces us to like have the technical difficulties.
Yes.
It was like me in high school, but I still somehow passed.
But yeah, when you look at this offensive line, James Daniels is, extreme. Well, I mean, he's 27, but he was good on the Bears. There's a reason why they let him go and upgraded him with Joe Thuney, who's on the older side, but Joe Thuney is one of the best left guards in the game.
Yeah.
One of the best guards in the game. So I think it's just very inconsistent moves. They also signed in Mike Hilton on a 1-year deal, but they let go of Raheem Mostert. They let go of Durham Smythe, which is fine. They let go of Kendall Fuller, which is not good considering he was one of their best corners, secondary players. And then they traded for Darren Waller. Why?
No sense.
This was such a stacked draft for young, talented, athletic tight ends, pass catching tight ends. If that's what you wanted, you could have spent a draft pick for on a tight end like, I don't know, Gunnar Helm or someone like who's the one who was drafted by the Seahawks? Hold
The
on.
Seahawks tight end?
Yeah. Hold up.
I got you, but I got you, man.
The Miami one, right?
Yeah. Elijah Arroyo.
Elijah Arroyo. That
Yeah.
was a good pickup from them.
Yeah, I would have preferred that selection over wasting a pick, wasting draft capital and resources on Darren Waller, who
Failed country music singer by
he's also on the player unable to perform list now.
these are the pupless already.
So they literally traded him for no reason.
Oh Jesus!
He's gonna probably torture them with his country music singing, so and then he'll release him. That's probably what's gonna happen.
Like I don't get this. I don't get the moves. That's the problem. Like it's a very inconsistent thing. Now when you look at the draft, they were actually pretty solid draft. You have Kenneth Grant, fantastic D tackle.
That was good.
So that was really good pickup. And then they drafted Jonah Sava-Inaya, guard / tackle in the second round. Another good pickup for them. So they are investing in the offensive line, and I hope that the offensive line improves so that you can actually start targeting deeper down the field this year. So they did invest in the in both lines, right? Kenneth Grant, Jonah Sava-Inaya, and then Jordan Phillips in the 5th round out of Maryland, which is a good one. They also got Ollie Gordon, running back out of Oklahoma State in the 6th round.
I actually like that pick. He was one of the top Big 12 rushers.
Right. And then they drafted Quinn Ewers, QB from Texas.
Yep.
Horns down.
Varun, any comment?
Tua just has Tua better watch out, bro.
That's high hopes. That's like, wow. That's
I will say I do think he was drafted where he was drafted because of the injuries and not his actual ability. So yeah, it's Tua doesn't have as much leeway as he thinks, bro.
Like Dolphins, you want my advice? You know those Guardian caps they started wearing?
Oh God.
Tua needs one of those.
Tua
Tua
needs
needs one of those.
I don't care if he looks like a mushroom. He needs that.
I don't care about like Toad from Super Mario Bros. He fucking needs one.
Yeah. They also brought in Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
MILF Hunter Zach Wilson.
Oh my
Oh
god.
God. You had to go there.
Hey, man. We went World War II. This is nothing.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
All right.
I had my dark humor, Joe. So you had to go and pull the MILF Hunter.
But yeah, at the end of the day, I think they made some moves that were good, right? They drafted some good players, hopefully that they can develop. Quinn Ewers, I guess he's like Tua in that he's slightly mobile, not that big of an arm, likes to throw over the short, intermediate, and requires a lot of help to succeed, right? He's not someone who's going to take the raw talent around him and uplift them, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Varun, but I just don't see that from Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, I mean, especially a franchise like the Dolphins.
Yeah. But so at the end of the day, I think they made some good moves, but they made some really head-scratching moves that I don't really understand why they went that route, right? Especially in their secondary. I think those moves were completely unfounded. In fact, they should have retained all those players and then invested more in the draft, right? They had a lot of day 3 picks, but they only had 2 day 1 picks. They had 1 day 1 pick in Kenneth Grant in the 1st round, and then they had 1 day 2 pick in Jonah Sava-Inaya, which was early in the 2nd round. They had 0 3rd or 4th round picks. Those 2 rounds could have been where they would have invested in the tight end position, right? Instead of spending some capital on Darren Waller, they could have invested, if they had those picks, some capital on the tight end position. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I think it really depends on Tua's health. I think they're an 8-9, 9-8 team because I just don't see the roster having the sustained success that Dolphins fans want them to, and on paper they should have. But given how they performed last year, given how they've been performing so far over the past couple of years, I think they go 8-9 or 9-8. I don't really see a playoff berth, especially considering how strong the AFC West potentially could be. I don't really see a wild card berth from this team. I think the Patriots are already going to be better than the Dolphins, and the Bills are going to win the division hands down. Spoiler alert. Not really a spoiler, but yes. So yeah, you're not going to see 3 wildcard or 3 teams in the playoffs from the AFC East. That's just not going to happen.
Right.
So I think it's another middling season, and a lot of questions. And Mike McDaniel's definitely on the hot seat. I don't think he's going to survive next year if he does not make this outfit into a playoff team. I think he goes back as an offensive coordinator, and they look at a new round of head coaches next year. We'll see what happens. And then my Chandler Player of the Year, I think there are a lot of candidates. I would say I really like, I don't know.
Like, damn, I don't know.
I don't know.
I guess Devon A-Chain. I think Devon A-Chain is going to have like a 1,700-yard season if he stays healthy.
Yeah.
Like scrimmage yards,
Right.
both rushing and receiving, because he's one of their mainstays in their offensive outlook. Because he had 900 rushing yards and 600 receiving yards, which is about 1,700? Yeah. Really? No, 1,500. So he had like 1,500 scrimmage yards roughly. So I think he could have something similar, probably more this year. But we'll see. All right. Any thoughts about the Dolphins from Cam, Vroon, Rakshak before we move on to the Jets?
I got nothing. I got nothing. They're still the Dolphins. So
Yeah.
Varun, what else?
No, I think you covered it all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically make it or break it season for both Tua and Mike McDaniel. They're literally competing for they're literally playing for their jobs.
Mhm.
yeah, it's do or die for them right now.
Yep. And unfortunately, global warming won't be the only thing killing the Dolphins.
Oh God. Oh Jesus.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I'm an environmental engineer, so
You would be the guy.
You would.
I would.
All right.
So-
let's move on.
Hey, if there's global warming, maybe Buffalo won't stop being so fucking cold.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or
Okay.
it might just get colder. Who knows?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Fucking Niagara Falls.
Okay. Last but not least,
The Jets.
bro, do we really have to talk about this team? Do I really have to? Can I just spare everyone's misery right now for this?
I mean, it's an AFC East show.
So I have to talk about this team. Okay.
You're gonna have to expose the
Varun,
Jets and your misery.
Varun, please help me out with this, man, because I think I'm gonna lose my mind as well. Like honestly, last but not least, the New York Football Jets. What can you say about the Jets? They finished with a 5-12 record, but Rodgers. They began the season with a disappointing 2-6 start. They failed to make the playoffs, and only then later on did they realize, oh, we actually need to play games of football. And they've extended their drought to 14 consecutive seasons of not making the playoffs. That is how pathetic this Jets team in 2024 was.
Hey, Jets, little advice from a Bills fan. You could always re-sign Mark Sanchez. At least it was good.
True. Okay, fair enough. I think so. And what's even more crazy, that week 13 loss to the Seahawks, it ensured the Jets' 9th consecutive losing season, which is currently the longest active streak in the league. And what's even worse, last year the Jets were 7-10. They went down. Am I taking crazy pills already?
No.
Because It is so bad. Like,
No,
only,
it's
the crazy part, only after 5 games, Robert Saleh, the head coach, and was fired. Then a few weeks later, general manager Joe Douglas was let go. Then you had interim head coaches who was like, your defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich and interim GM Phil Savage. And I kid you not, I am not making this shit up. According to the Jets website, Rodgers' first full season resulted in one of the best statistical seasons in franchise history for a QB, even though the team did not meet its expectations.
That is 100% bullshit. What the fuck are they smoking?
I want to know too, so that I can avoid it.
That bad for the Jets? That Rodgers this season was that good?
Look, this is, I don't know if you heard this, but like, this is from the Jets website itself. This is how crazy it is. Like, according to the Jets website, Rodgers' first full season resulted in one of the best statistical seasons in franchise history for a QB, even though the team did not meet expectations.
They rarely had that good of a quarterback, and that's saying something.
It's saying something. Like, I'm getting depressed talking about this shit. Like,
Yeah.
At least you're not a Jets fan, dude. At least you're not a Jets fan.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yep.
And he at least he played a full season. That's all they can bank on. 3,897 passing yards, third most in season for the Jets, 28 passing touchdowns, number 3 in franchise history in a season. But let's be realistic. The offense was at the below decks of mid. They finished 24th in the league in yards per game, like 310.3 total yards, and 24th in points per game. Guess how much they were averaging?
How much?
Less than 20 points, 19.9.
Wow.
Wow.
The only star was literally Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson is the reason they had a freaking offense to begin with. I think he had like he had a third consecutive 1,000 receiving yards.
How do you Jets have fans? Like, seriously.
Those are some loyal New Yorkers. That's what I'll say.
This is the Great Depression all over again.
Yeah.
I want to live through that shit.
Like, the only thing that's gonna solve this is if they sell the team.
Or like actually bring them back to New York. But then again, where do you do that? And I guess what's even more crazy, they were 2-7 in one score games. In one score contest. And the rushing attack was so weak, they ranked 31st in rushing yards per game. Their defense was not terrible. They only allowed 28.3 points per game, allowed only 404 points. Ranked 20th in the league, 17th in rushing yards allowed, 2,059. And they were 4th against the pass.
Damn.
Because of Sauce Gardner and that linebacker Jermaine Sherwood. 4th against the pass. They only allowed 192.6 yards per game. Recorded 43 sacks, 11th best in the NFL. And some of the guys like Quinnen Williams and apparently the ghost of Hassan Reddick. I think they wish they had Bryce Huff back.
Yep.
And Will McDonald, top star, finished 10.5 sacks. And although they had like Jermaine Johnson like injured, but I thought they did defense was their best part. The offense was just bull crap, honestly. It was just bad. Like, how bad cadaverific? Quoting Team 4-star. So I don't want to continue on with the Jets because it's just too depressing. I believe in mental health. Being a Jets fan is detrimental to my mental health.
Jets fans are checking into the mental institution right now.
And the thing is, like, mental health is very important. I'll say this honestly. mental health is important. Make sure you check with your friends, all that. But being a Jets fan,
your family and your doctors, they'll help you out.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we're full proponents of mental health. Being aware.
Hey, Jets fans, if you're gonna make it through a season, you might as well get the antidepressants out right now.
I'm not saying moving on. So what did they do during the off season? Basically, it was a tale of 1-year deals. Some of them was Stone Smart, tight end from the Chargers. Jamin Davis, I thought that was a good signing. Josh Myers, Isaiah Oliver, Andre Sisco, Brandon Stephens, who signed a 3-year, $36 million contract. And I think one of the biggest ones has to be Justin Fields, 2-year, $40 million deal. So that's QB number 1 that they're going with. Josh Reynolds, wide receiver, Jay Tuafele, Brian Coward, Derek Nadi, Chris Boyd, Tyler Johnson. And the 3 biggest extensions that I thought they did right, getting Sauce Gardner for 4-year, $120.4 million, one of the top paid corners.
Yeah.
Also extending Garrett Wilson, 4-year, $130 million, and inside linebacker Jermaine Sherwood, 3-year, $45 million. He was like one of the stars of that defense. And then the Jets had a bunch of players out. Devontae Adams to the Rams, DJ Reed going to the Lions, Javon Kinlaw to the Commanders, Hassan Reddick to the Bucks, Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, and then I think what was big, Morgan Moses, right tackle, offensive tackle to the Pats, Tyler Conklin, Solomon Thomas, Brandon Eccles, Austin Davis, Wes Schweitzer, Lakey Fotu, Kenny Vacal, Greg Joseph, Chaz Smells, and Kendall Sheffield. A couple of players gone by. I think it was like a lot of cleanup. I don't know about the status of Alan Lazard, but if he wants to follow his boyfriend, Aaron Rodgers, or something like that, then maybe he can do that. But I'm just saying things. I'm just saying it. But what did they do in the draft? I thought this was a very impressive draft. I'll tell you this. No, number 1 pick. They went with the formula of building through the trenches. That was with the Armand Membu pick. I thought they needed to address the offensive line. And everyone is saying, oh, the Jets should get Tyler Warren. Let's first focus on the draft. Let's first focus on the line. They did that right. They did. Just keep it simple, stupid. That is all they needed. And it worked. Second bit, and I think I really liked it. He has the size, and again, this will fit to the new Jets philosophy of trying to build, getting an offensive identity with the run game, and then building it through the pass. So also to help Justin Fields out. And I know I'm jumping up ahead on this one, but Jets made a big hire in getting Aaron Glenn, former Detroit Lions defensive coordinator, as the head coach. Another good signing was Daryl Moe as GM. This is a big culture reset, and you want to emphasize the goal on be our tough guys. And I see why not. I think it's a good one. I think it's definitely good. Good pickup, good signings by Woody Johnson overall. Offensive coordinator, I'm not sure about Tanner Engstrand, who previously was he was the Detroit Lions passing game coordinator. He's now the new OC. Interesting. And defensive coach is Steve Wilks. Defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. Do you remember Steve Wilks, who was with the Carolina Panthers? And then he was a coordinator for the Niners.
He was then with the Cardinals as well, right?
Yeah,
head coach for the
Cardinals,
Cardinals.
yeah. And linebacker Aaron Curry, former linebacker from the Seahawks. So it's like I think it's like a lot of the hires that Aaron Glenn was putting was people that he knew very well. And I think like It's interesting. Again, we have to see how it plays out. But like back to the draft, Armand Membu, I really like that pickup. And guess what? They didn't even need to look out for tight end because who did they get? Mason Taylor. You may have heard this name before. He is the son of a famous Pro Bowler by the name of Jason Taylor, who played for the Jets back in 2010. Although he was mainly a Dolphin, that's how I remember Jason Taylor. And I think like they had the choice between Jason Taylor and Elijah Arroyo. They opted for Taylor because they think his potential to be a tight end, a complete tight end, but not just a receiver. 3-year starter with the Tigers.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What?
We couldn't hear you for a second.
Okay. So I liked what they did with Mason by getting Mason Taylor. He had 3 years started for the Tigers, 129 receptions, 1,308 yards, both school records for a tight end. Steady, but not too dominant. His single high game was only 63 yards, but like he should definitely compete for the. I think he might be the number one tight end, especially going up against Jeremy Ruckett. And then round 3. Azare Thomas, cornerback from Florida State.
That was such a good pickup. I was pissed that they got him.
I think this was an Aaron Glenn pickup. 6'2". He has the size. He had 15 passes defended over the last 2 seasons, but only 1 interception. And having Sauce Gardner, Azare Thomas, Brandon Stephen, and Michael Carter too. You could literally go special teams or even play nickel, play CB4. Yes, people are going to call him out for his 40 time, which was 4.58 seconds, but he has the game. He looks at game speed, not the stopwatch. That is different. Aaron Glenn is looking for people that can start playing, just be disruptive at the line of scrimmage. That Thomas pickup was so good.
Mm-hmm.
Another good one. In round 4, Arian Smith, wide receiver from Georgia. I think this will basically be. He may compete for the for a spot against Malachi Corley. I mean, 4.36 seconds in the 40-yard dash. Conservative Smith, who had led the Bulldogs with 817 receiving yards, a lot on screen plays, is the injury history. So and the drops. So it's a bit of a bet. And not only that, round 4, they go Malachi Moore. I wanted, if the Eagles did not get Andrew Makuba, I wanted the Eagles to try and get like Malachi Moore. So they dealt a 5th round pick and a 6th rounder to the Eagles. And I think like Aaron Glenn wants him to be the new Brian Branch. Like he could play the star nickel position, switching to safety. And I think he did that and I think like having a safety depth, like along with Andre Cisco, Tony Adams, Isaiah Oliver, and Malachi Moore, and that Brandon Stevens, that's gonna be fun. And then round 5, Francisco Moilago, Miogola, linebacker from Miami. He could play the Mike linebacker, back up to Jermaine Sherwood, 6'2", 233. Led the Hurricanes in tackles in the last of 2 seasons. And then round 6, they go Tyler Barron, defensive end Miami. So they went full on defense in this draft, except for Arian Smith and Armand Membu. Apparently they wanted Barron so much they traded up 10 spots. They traded a 6th rounder and a 2026 5th round choice to the Ravens for this pick and a 2026 6th rounder. Tyler Barron, Tennessee transfer, 5.5 sacks last season, 3 against FCS team. 6'5", 258. He was a big time recruit, and he actually at Miami. He actually learned from Jason Taylor himself, so you could see that familiarity with that. But I would say it's a solid B plus A minus because I felt like they have a foundation. They first addressed the offensive line, then they went full defense, and they had pulled out some playmakers like, let's try with Arian Smith, let's try with Mason Taylor and Armand Membu, but it was mainly defense on this one. For me, season expectations, I honestly see them going 5-12 at best because it's going to be growing pains, but I have a gut feeling that the Jets can play spoiler. They can play a spoiler team under Aaron Glenn, and I'm gonna go on a limb. I think that I like 5-12 is the floor. My ceiling for the Jets, they have the ability to go 9-8. And it leads to the Shandar Play of the Year, Justin Fields, and who did suffer a dislocated toe during practice. So all eyes are going to be on that QB. Can Fields become that passer? Can Aaron Glenn help him out? Can the Jets finally get a winning season? They will compete for it, but I don't think they will make the playoffs.
Nope.
9-8 is the ceiling. 5-12. I'm looking at this realistically.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have that much hope for the Jets. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. it's
Here's the difference between Jets fans and Cowboys fans.
Oh boy.
Jets fans can actually take a loss. Cowboy fans can't. They just cry on social media about it.
Accurate.
Dude,
Abhishek, we need a response.
I honestly think we need to just have one random episode. We just bring Cameron and Abhishek into
all you fans, I dare you to come at me. I'll fire shots right back at y'all.
Oh, okay. What next? Hold on.
What next is just our final division predictions. So let's close this out with what we think is going to happen in the division. I think we can all agree who the winner is going to be, but let's go each one by one. Cameron, you can go ahead. Where do you think each team will be? Who wins the division and who's going to go to the playoffs? And what's going to happen in the playoffs?
I think the Bills will win the division and clinch one seed.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Final record prediction 15-12 or 16-1. One of the two.
Okay.
Second place, I see the Pats with a 9-8 record.
Okay.
Third place, I see the Jets with a 8-9. And last place, I see the Dolphins going. I'm going to say 6-11 for them.
Okay. Reasonable. Varun?
Yeah, I'll go with the Bills number 1.
Yep.
Patriots number 2. I think the Dolphins and Jets will be like one game apart, anywhere between like 6 and 8 wins. So honestly, if I had to go, I'd probably trust the Dolphins to place higher, but I go Dolphins 3, Jets 4.
Yep.
Okay. Do you think the Patriots make the playoffs?
I think they'll be contending for it.
They'll be. I'll just say they'll be in the hunt, but realistically, I don't think they're gonna make it. Sorry, Ron.
Gotcha.
No, yeah, I agree.
All right, Rakshak.
I think easily Bills, they go 14-3.
Okay.
AFC Championship at best, but hopefully they can make it to the Super Bowl because I think that'd be fun. And the rest of the division, I had them all losing seasons. I had the Dolphins going 7-10. I had the Pats going 6-11, and I had the Jets going 5-12. I see.
Market and all of those.
Yeah.
I see no hope in that defense.
There's
In that
no hope for any team. There's like no hope for the AFC. It's like we'll always like be on top until Pats can get their shit together, which they're kind of slowly rebuilding, but it takes time. So
Yeah.
it's like the Yankees. They fall short, and sometimes you'll get there, and then you'll fall short again, like they are right now.
Yep. Natural cycle of team's evolution.
Can we just phone already? Like shit.
Yeah.
I can't take this.
Yes. We need the season to start already.
Yeah.
I'll finish off with Bills going 14-3. I think the Patriots go 8-9, Dolphins go 6-11, and the Jets go 5-12. Like I said, I don't really see any hope. I could see them going as low as 2-15, given the lack of offense that they have and a potentially significant lack of defensive effectiveness as well. All right. Well, that's going to be it for us today. Thank you to Cameron and Vroon for coming on to the podcast. We appreciate you guys always. Any last words for you guys?
I wish I was here during the AFC West podcast. I would have fired a lot of shots at Chiefs fans.
You're right.
The gun was loaded. I just didn't get to fire it.
You're right. We should have included you.
We should have.
No, just thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Damn it. You're lucky this time, Chiefs fan. Next time I won't be so merciful.
Damn.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for coming on. This has been very enjoyable. If you guys have enjoyed, please leave us a review of one of the 4 podcast platforms that we host a podcast on: Apple, Google, Spotify, and Pocket Cast, or Rakshak.
You can also find us on YouTube. So make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for more notifications than this one. We're also on social media, Instagram, Twitter /X, and Threads with the username at NFL Masala 2022, all lowercase. That is at NFL Masala 2022, all lowercase.
And if you guys, we're gonna hit you guys with our signature outro. Go Pack, go!
Go Bills.
And fly, Eagles, fly. Take care and have a good night.